Yo, what's going on, AfterBuzz family? You knocked and now we're buzzing you in. What's my favorite word? Beach? Nah, actually, it's insecure. Time for episode 3, Racist as What? On AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey. Turn it up. Hey. Jip. Hey, this is a classic.
Because I'm on the CC. Oh, wait, no.
Because, see, you get it
See,
confused.
I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying.
Regardless whether it's Too Short, whether it's Drake, it's still a classic.
Yes.
Blow the whistle. You know what? You knocked. We rang you in. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV presents Insecure, episode 3, Racist as What? I'm your lead host, McCall Hall. You can find me on social media when sports and pop culture collide at McCall Hall. And our wonderful cast bouncing, getting it in tonight.
Allie Washington, sorry. I'm like trying to keep calm in my head. I'm doing like this little dance in my head, but I can't cut up. Allie Washington at Allie the Pub, all across social media.
And Spicy Madi. You guys can play with my Twitter or stroke my Instagram at Spicy Madi.
Oh,
I'm just saying, about to get into it. Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
She ain't the only one. We about to get it in tonight. Omari, where can they find you at?
Those people can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at OnWithOmari. Also on Snapchat at Omari B.
Now check this out. You know the deal. It's AfterBuzz TV across the board. Engage with us. Talk to us on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter. Yo, even on YouTube. So with that, you know what we got to do. We got to shout out our YouTubers.
Let's do it.
You know, I
love
love the YouTubers. I'm not on Twitter and Instagram as much as I'd like to, but I do.
Get on it.
I need to. But I do go on Instagram, or excuse me, on YouTube, and I read the comments and everything. So I'm gonna give a little shout out. Michaela King, shout out to you. Nook Cranny, Miss G, shout out to you. Moses,
Clever.
Something I can't say your last name. Maureen, the Ninja, all right. Elijah back on there. The Right Stuff 14, Madam Sophia, shout out to you. Thank you so much for engaging with us. Monique Johnson, thank you so much. Derek Elliott, I see you. Let's see. Rada 46, Jazz Pitts. See ya, Iffy, Okafor, and Jamise. All right. So awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Y'all.
It's a lot.
Love.
That's a lot of people. A lot of love.
We feel the love.
Look, you might have said something I like. You might have said something I didn't like, but I appreciate you saying something. All right.
Indeed.
Exactly.
You guys.
Yes.
Racist as F.
Boy.
What do we feel about cursing?
I love it.
I
think
just,
it's great.
Because I'm trying to be good.
There's curse words in the Bible. That's what I always said as a
Oh,
kid. When my
God.
parents were
Oh, is that
like,
your
"You can't
excuse?
curse." I was
That's-
like, "But Dad, they say ass in the Bible. What
yes,
do you mean
but
you can't
my mom
curse?"
always told me it's always the reference in which Jesus was speaking. Hey, Mom. Every time. So I wouldn't even try
If
it.
Jesus can say it, then I can say it.
Speaking of Jesus, I can. Right?
Come on.
Yo,
If Jesus could drink, we could drink.
speaking of Jesus, it is
What
the
in the-
Sabbath, and we are actually coming to you live on a Sunday directly after the show.
Finally.
Can the church say amen?
Amen. The church say
Amen.
amen. This will be
Hallelujah.
going forward. We got 5 episodes left, so tune in on a Sunday night versus a Monday night. You know, Monday night's reserved for football. Sunday night's all about Insecure, baby.
Yes.
So let's get into it, you guys.
Do it. Love it.
Now, this is how we're gonna break it down. We're gonna go through a little bit scene by scene, and then I want to talk about the themes that we had going on today.
Oh, there was
okay?
a lot, yeah.
Okay.
So I
themes.
have a couple of themes that
Besides
I was thinking
racism.
about. Well, of course,
And-
racism ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere.
I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, racism ain't going no
At
damn
all.
where. No damn where. So anyways, shout out to Issa and Lawrence getting back together, or so we think.
How do you feel about that? Were you happy to see that?
They
I
never
was happy to
officially
see it.
broke
I
up.
don't know if they ever really broke up, and I also don't know if they ever really got back together until the end of the episode, but we'll get into it.
Okay.
So there's a disconnect between them this episode.
Clearly.
But why? I'm a little confused. Why did they even hop back into the bed together? Like I don't know why they even went that far so soon.
Issa was coming back home.
But I mean, like,
Right.
why didn't one of them sleep on the couch?
Issa wasn't ready to dead the relationship. As Molly said when she left the first episode, he was like, "Oh, you mad, but we good." Because Issa's not ready to end the relationship. She still needs that security blanket. She still needs her man. She's been with him for 4 years. It's a comfort level. Also, it's the dating world is hard. It's hard. She saw Molly in her single life. She doesn't want to get back into the pool, so she has her man at her side. Yeah, he ain't shit right now, but he's trying to get it together. sorry for the cursing, but we're okay with that here, right?
Right.
We're
Yeah.
still
But
good with that.
I agree with you 100%. And I think I saw some comments too that was saying that just because you're in a relationship with a dude and you're scared to leave doesn't mean that you should stay just because you're scared to leave. But I don't think that in this situation that is relevant, because I don't think that it's enough detrimental circumstances for her to leave the situation. I mean, honesty hasn't been broken, like trust hasn't been broken. There hasn't been like any of the core values broken. Yeah, she's just irritated, and that's gonna happen in relationships. So you can't just dip just because you're tired of the relationship and you're bored and it's not spicy anymore. Like, it's your responsibility to, shout out to Spice, but it's your responsibility to like come with it. And I mentioned earlier that she was acting very immature. So I'm happy to see her finally take some accountability, especially when we peeped that some other women were, stroking his ego like he needed.
I see you, Tasha. I see you, girl.
Tasha, we saw you.
That was kind of cute, though. That was kind of cute.
It was kind of cute.
She doesn't know his relationship, like history. She was
he ain't
just.
wearing no ring.
He's just a brother. She's a single black female. She sees a man.
But that happens all the time, though.
Right.
I mean, we can go to the gas station and men hit on us, ladies, and you can, probably go out to a bar, whatever, or get hit on too. But I mean, that's why it's so important that you take care of home, and even when you're not doing well, or you're not feeling in the mood, you being selfless and still making sure that you, give words of affirmation and encouragement to your partner.
Yeah, absolutely. Where Lawrence is not hearing words of affirmation at all is in the whole job hunting situation. So let's talk about, his scenes with the recruiter or the headhunter, really blowing his ego. We find out that Lawrence is getting interviews, but just not landing the gig.
It's hard out there. It's hard to get a job.
This is the reality.
Yeah.
We find out has to take a step back. But if you were in Lawrence's shoes, how would you have reacted as a man?
I mean, that's just real life right now. Like, kids with college degrees are not getting jobs. That's just the real. I work as a waiter in a restaurant. I have a college degree. Like, it's hard out there getting a job. Like, I feel overqualified for a lot of the jobs that I've been working in the past. But you just put yourself out there, keep going. As the headhunter said, it's just really tough. It's tough out there. There's more people than there are jobs right now.
A college degree is equal to a high school diploma.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that doesn't really go for much, I have a degree in communications. I guess I'm putting to work right now. But it's still hard out there for people. So I empathize with Lawrence in his situation because it's tough. So I feel for him.
And they said it takes like 6 months to actually land a position.
Yeah.
And so it's based on how much he's been putting into it. It's just like dating. You're gonna get what you give.
Yeah, I think she mentioned that he was looking for like 2 weeks or something like that. But my whole thing is the way they set up the show. I'm like, it seemed like he had been searching for a while, and then the headhunter said, "Well, you're 2 weeks into the search or something like that." I don't know.
I think he's been being lazy, and I think that was Issa's issue with him, was him not being proactive. He was kind of just sitting on the couch hoping that something would knock on his door.
And you posed the question, like, as a man not being able to provide, I guess is sort of what you're getting at.
I think it's a lot. Not being able to provide.
Right.
Knowing that you're good enough, and men are all about ego, like improving. So if I'm putting up the work, I should get the results. So that's kind of what I'm getting. It's a culmination of things.
Got you. And that's got to be a tough one, which is why I empathize with him. And I thought you were too hard on him in the first episode. I was like, get off my man Lawrence's back. He's trying.
Well, I see that now, and I think that Issa is getting to the point, just like, Mari said, that she was frustrated with the fact that he seemed as though he was lazy. And then when we see the reference that, you've been in the process for 2 weeks, my brother, you got to hold on. You get what I'm saying? Like, relax, fam. You can't go to sleep and just wake up, And I think that that's where she was just like, dang, you've been doing this for how long? You get what I'm saying? And she wasn't seeing the back work, though. And I think that's what a lot of, sometimes we don't know everything that's going on in the
inner workings.
We don't know the background work. So I was wrong. But I hopped back on last week.
You did.
Come on now.
You did. And
I'm on Team Lawrence.
There you go.
How's Lawrence at home?
Lawrence is great.
You're Lawrence.
Lawrence is great.
Okay.
Lawrence is great. I can't do that.
I was like, what's his name?
Lawrence is great. And I think that and we were talking earlier how this episode, it just resonates so much for me personally. And I think that everything in this show for this episode for certain hit dead on. Like, everything was just dead on.
Yeah. Well, let's move forward. some other scenes that were very interesting. Issa at work, finding out that white people are having secret ass meetings.
Secret
and
white
secret ass
meetings.
emails.
Secret white emails, secret
They
white
said
text.
secret white meetings. I'm just quoting the show.
They're having secret white meetings.
Look,
Sending secret white meetings.
I really want to highlight the fact that I appreciate this episode because I've been very critical about it from the start because it is me consistently
Critical in what
comparing
way?
it. Well, I keep comparing it to Awkward Black Girl, and there's a lot of awkward scenes in this show, but they titled it Insecure. So what I was looking for was, okay, if you're not going to give me Awkward Black Girl, give me extreme amounts of insecurity.
Got you.
And I wasn't seeing a ton of insecurity as much as I was the awkwardness. Okay. And so I appreciate that I'm seeing the insecurity show up when she's feeling like there's these, secret meetings and she's finding out about these emails and people talking about her. It is making her very insecure and very self-conscious. And she's going back to, this ethnic insecurity. Is it because of my race? And it is. I mean, we're consistently seeing that.
I don't know if that made her insecure though. I think that just like kind
it did. She started getting paranoid, like Trump
paranoia.
paranoia.
It wasn't paranoia because they were actually having secret white meetings.
But it wasn't confirmed. The text messages were about them.
The emails were confirmed though.
The texts were not though. So she's now just assuming that they're laughing at me and these kids don't like me and these kids are hating on me and my event.
I think it was confirmed because she walked into a room where they were discussing her beach project and their coworker told her, "Oh yeah, we had an email chain without you." So I feel like
that's a confirmation. But now it's a
feeling.
Paranoia.
It's an eerie feeling.
If you laugh, now you're laughing at me.
But my whole thing is, I mean, I work in a very, I'll say corporate setting, a very professional and corporate setting. And if they're having one conversation about you, guaranteed it's going to trickle over to every other medium that you could have. It's going to be on Twitter, Instagram, any way they can communicate, they're going to have it about you. So even if we didn't see the text, it probably came up.
I think that it was kind of cool. Well, not cool. Of course, I didn't agree with it, but I think it's kind of cool how she illustrated how racism is not just like, you're this or you're that. It could be viewed in many different lights, and even something as small as just lunch. You get what I'm saying? How a lunch break can easily be turned into something totally different, whether knowingly or unknowingly,
She also showed it through the imaging. I don't know if you guys peeped the shirts that they created for Beach Day, but that I think was made by one of her friends who sent in that design. And it was a white hand holding the little black kids.
The black kids, you saw that?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, it's that even right there. Once again, she was insinuating, that white people have come to save, us black people.
We're holding.
Shout out Blindside, the movie, if anyone saw it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually a good movie, though.
Really good
it was a good movie, but the backlash about it. The white family saving the poor black man.
Sandra Bullock is the real life Blindside mom.
Right,
she got two black kids now, so shit. I mean, it's just art imitating life.
Adopt me,
shout
hell.
out to Louis Bullock. Okay, Sandra Bullock's little baby. He's so damn cute. I want to talk about insecurity with Issa and Lawrence trying to talk about career stuff together. So we saw them come back together. Issa's bitching about work, and Lawrence is like,
he busts her out.
Yeah, he's like, you ain't even talking about my career aspects and things of that nature. They're both operating in insecurity and can't support one another's insecurities. I mean,
I feel like he was being supportive.
He was.
Like, what I found interesting was that she's not fooling with him right now. She's turned off by him, but yet you're still going back to him and using him as one of your resources to vent and taking advantage of, your friendship. You don't want him, but yet you want him to listen to your problems when you come home. And so he is doing that. He's still trying. He's giving her feedback and he's trying to be encouraging, and motivate her. But then when it comes his turn, she hasn't been doing that. She's been very selfish and in her own feelings. And he's noticing it. I'm happy that he busted her out and said, hey, hello, I know I may be down in the dumps right now, but you got to show up. Give me something.
She played him twice this episode. The cold hands. He said, I was
keeps playing him.
Getting the snow cones. And then when he said, I hope I don't see you at Riot Aid, and she was like, too soon. But you brought your ass back home.
Right.
Too soon.
It was funny.
That was my thing. Like, either you're going to hold off a little bit, but if you're going to go back for real.
No, I mean, she went back, but she's still trying to teach him a lesson. Like, he's still...
Yeah, she went back with intentions on having a safety net. She was using him as a soundboard.
Not his mama. So this is where the issues happen, is you're trying to teach him a lesson. You're not his mama. But yet you're trying to act like his mama, but you're acting like a child.
Doesn't every guy look for their mother and their girl?
Oh, please.
Now here we go.
Can somebody Somebody
do not
killed
want a
that
mama.
myth.
It's
Somebody
not-
pass me a knife.
It's not Issa's
love you, Mom.
responsibility to make him grow up. She needs
Yeah.
to have an adult conversation with him and actually talk about their issues.
That was so crazy.
Please pass the knife.
Wow. Okay.
Look, there is a classic
want a
Kelly
girl like
Price
my mama.
song called "Not My Daddy." It's so good. I recommend it to everybody. You're not my daddy. You're my man. Okay.
And
that-
J-Lo got a song too. I ain't your mama.
You know
Hello.
what I'm saying? We looking for partners out here, equally yoked. But I want to.
Fantasia said I ain't gonna beg you.
Come on now. I want to get into my
Preach,
personal favorite scene.
Okay.
Issa and Molly go to this like little kickback or whatever that was thrown by Molly's sorority sister. So just so you guys know, Spicy and I are proud members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Y'all so bougie.
well,
Y'all so
see,
bougie.
stereotypes.
And here I am, little Issa in the middle, ski walk.
Yo, I'm a goddamn independent. So
Me find me in the
me
building.
find me. Yeah.
Y'all
So.
matter
No,
too.
but
Y'all
I
matter
love
too.
the case though. I love the case. I love the case.
Everybody
You know,
does.
They cool, they cool.
we're about service to all mankind.
Yes.
Okay, so I was really excited to see that. Once again, I am the real life Molly.
But I think it was thrown at an alpha house, though. I think, did you not peep the alpha sign above the fireplace?
I was.
Oh, I think I missed that.
Yeah.
I was
I
taking
didn't
notes.
see that, but like looking at the way the house was structured,
It's like a dude.
I've been to the Alpha House here in LA,
It looks
and it
similar.
doesn't look like that.
Okay.
That looks
Well,
more like the
this
Kappa
is-
House.
This is for TV, so. you
but
know.
but they've been but they're trying. Okay, we'll talk about this
Also,
after.
shout out to Black Greek Life. That was like pretty cool to see.
Yeah,
You know,
because we don't really
we
see
don't
that a whole lot in LA.
ever.
I was gonna ask y'all how what do y'all
at
think
that.
about that?
Yeah.
Adding that. That was cool.
It was nice.
I'm from Arkansas, so I'm Southern all day. So
Yeah.
I know the Atlantas and the Alabamas.
Yeah.
What up, UA? I know Mississippi's all that, but I have not
We know
seen like a
about it.
huge Greek presence here in LA, like what I'm accustomed to seeing.
Shout out to the
so that was
Divine
cool.
Nine.
Yeah, you know,
Shout out to Sweet Meat Pie, Spellman.
you know, in the Sigma Delta chapter at University of Oregon. It's all love.
It's all
but what I
love.
will say about Greek life.
Here in LA.
Here in LA,
Uh-huh.
this is what I believe to be true. I think that there is a lot of drop off for people after they graduate from college. They're not as active, and due to the job market and things, it's expensive being Greek. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
AKA,
Dues,
I
honey.
love it. I'm a third generation K, but it's a business. Okay, I got to pay them dues every year. It's tough.
Supposed to be like, but is you financial though?
You know, it is tough. And the other thing I'll say about LA, and Spicy, please chime in because you know your experiences.
Yes.
You know, we're right here together. I don't think that there are enough college educated men in LA. I think there are more women.
I'm right here.
But no, college
I'm
educated
right
Greek
here.
men in LA.
I'm not Greek. Okay.
Okay, so there are opportunities or events that I don't think are celebrated as much in Los Angeles as far as Greekdom is concerned, and that's just because of I think one the way that we're populated in Los Angeles as far as like geography, but then also too just a strong Black affluent community that's not as prevalent as well as not so much as the South and the East Coast out here, and so we're a melting pot, so it's hard to connect and find your people to connect to. So but I'm gonna add you to some of the Facebook groups that we got.
Look at this sisterhood.
Trying to
I
reclaim
just
the
went to
sorors
I
out
just went
here.
to a little Greek party
Can I come?
a couple weekends ago.
I want to go. Am I not allowed?
No, I'll make sure
My
that
dad's
I
a Kappa,
No,
mom's a
everybody's
Delta.
welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Your dad's a noob.
My dad is a noob.
You are pretty enough to be a noob. Honorary noob.
Look,
Thank
but
you.
he could be smart and handsome like an alpha too.
Thank you.
Well, either way, and I encourage everybody, if you are planning to go to college or if you graduate, I mean, just look into becoming Greek. It's one of the greatest experiences that you'll ever have.
But I want to
Yes.
talk about their conversation that they were having as far as good Black educated
Yes,
men
let's please get
is
into it.
concerned, because that I thought was a hot topic. Like
Yeah.
that was something that I hear a lot of. People talk about the dating scene in Los Angeles and it being so troubling, but also they're not being educated men in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Now, Kelly, I wrote in my notes,
my new
hefty
favorite.
coworker.
Love Kelly.
I'm not throwing shade. How I took a note, but she was the larger, and I'm big, okay? So, but shout out to Kelly. She said, I'm so tired of LA men. Now, real quick, this show was actually supposed to be developed for ABC, and it was supposed to be called I Hate LA Men. So when she
heard
made
about
that
that.
drop, I was like, oh, okay, so I see how they tying it in
Right.
now. But she said straight up, I'm so tired of LA men. I'm tired of it
I
too.
second that motion. Oh, you second
I'm
it first.
tired
I
of it.
third it.
I'm tired
Have
of
you
it.
found my
I feel a
man
lot
yet?
of hate up
I'm
here.
tired of it.
I feel
See,
a lot of
me
hate
and
up
Mari
here.
So
finna
look,
be beefing.
Okay, this is
You had one job.
But this is why it's because there isn't once again a strong affluent and prevalent black professional scene out here, because this is the entertainment industry, you're gonna get a lot of guys that are, you know, working in entertainment but busting tables with degrees. And so, and this is not just this is not a no, but this is us being 100% honest. There is nothing wrong with that, but a girl like Molly doesn't want to date you,
right?
And it's because
like the Enterprise did.
Yeah, she doesn't want, because she wants the, you know, she wants a certain lifestyle that she thinks that a man without a degree or a man that's in a you know, corporate 9-to-5 can't provide. And a lot of women out here think that, so they automatically write you off if you're not doing as well as they are.
But a lot of those dudes busting tables, like myself, graduated the 4.0 from college, went to college on a full scholarship. So we got the whole package. We were just like working towards other things, other goals.
And that's why it's harder, because the entertainment industry isn't built like any other industry.
That's
it's
LA.
not.
That's
Don't
LA.
come here thinking there's a blueprint.
Child, talk about it. Can you say that one more time?
Don't come here to LA thinking that there's a blueprint to start them.
Okay, last time, just third time. But
there's no blueprint. Okay. Spicy.
But if we were on the East Coast, there is, you know, Wall Street. If we were in DC, you would see a lot of black men in politics. Like, there's more.
That's so true. My best friend is in DC, and she is in like so many, and she cracks me up, and I made reference, hey Day, when Molly had joined that elite crew or whatever, there's so many like groups, Facebook, like just groups period out there for them to mix and mingle, like, and I'm just like, dude, where's that at here? You know, like, we don't have it.
And I'm even guilty. I understand exactly what Molly's going through, because, you know, I want somebody who's, you know, educated just like me, who's, you know, working and ambitious. And unfortunately, I won't date somebody in entertainment because I'm in entertainment. And I know
and you engaged now.
And she engaged. She ain't dating. What you better realize? What you better realize? She ain't dating none of y'all. She's off the market. Okay.
But he ain't none of y'all broke.
And look, as I make my point with this hand,
she's like, by the way.
But look at, he is super corporate, and I'm in entertainment, and he vowed to not date anybody in entertainment because he knows it is, you know, it's a lot of drama and it's not consistent. And so he was patient with me.
So he already broke his vow. That's not a great
he
sign.
stepped outside of his comfort zone. Okay. And to that point, I stepped outside of mine. I thought I wanted somebody in entertainment, but what I realized is when you date outside of your parameters or outside of your comfort zone, you may potentially find love. And he did. He took a chance.
That's like Molly.
I'm just ready for the wedding.
Like,
she needs to. She got to. I don't think that. Well, not your standards, but just be open-minded, because you know, what if you can encourage him to go to school or to, you know, start some career goals or his own business.
I think, and again, this show really depicts in an accurate way, you know, what it's like to be a 20-something African-American woman in LA. And I identify with Molly a lot because, yes, I work in entertainment, but I also have a very high-profile corporate-ass gig.
Okay,
so, like...
Okay.
No, I'm not saying that.
You, Molly.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that on no, you know, cocky tip, but I'm just being for real. You know, what I do for a living and the circles that I'm in, it's very different. So, you know, I was telling Allie, like, I actually went out with a guy tonight. Very, very nice guy.
She likes him a lot.
I hope he's not watching.
Wait, how long have you known him?
Like a couple weeks.
Okay.
I hope he is.
How'd y'all meet?
She likes you a lot.
I met him online. Okay?
Don't tell him that. It's just a friendship right now. She's still feeling him out.
But I identify a lot with Molly because he's college educated, but he's not where I'm at. And I think the one thing that they haven't said yet in this show, but I think it's going to come up, is the fact that, you know, for myself, thinking about it, it's not so much like, oh, well, he doesn't have the same things on paper, but you're looking at financials, right?
Okay.
And I think for women, I think Molly secretly is probably still very old-fashioned, as am I. So I'm kind of like, I don't want to make more money than you. And here in LA, it's like if you're a woman and you're on that track and trajectory, finding a guy who does make more money than you is a little bit tougher. And I think that secretly, Molly hasn't said it yet, but Molly doesn't want to be the primary breadwinner. Because Issa talks about it before they even went to the party. She goes, I am the financial, I have the weight of financials, I have the weight of the emotion, I have the weight of everything.
And they're heavy as hell.
And they're heavy, and we don't necessarily want them, right?
So does it make him, so if you are the primary breadwinner in your household, does that make you more of the man than the man? Because this is what
it can chop his nuts off.
This is where it gets a little bit challenging. You know, as women, we ask for equal rights. We ask for more pay in corporate America. You know, we want to be treated 24/7 just as equally as men, until it comes to our household, when it's like, oh, no, but that's where I want you to be doing better than me. That's where I want you to be making more, and I don't want equal rights. That's where I want, you know, me to play my role, and, you know, me to be comforted and be able to be emotional, but you be man and hear you roar and be strong. So why is it that we want this double standard in our household, but not when it comes to the workplace or anything else?
How do you feel about it? Are you okay with making more?
So I don't make more, but I can't wait to make more than him and boss up real quick on some Nicki Minaj. Like, I wiped him up. I can't wait to be on that level, but I think that is very tricky and it's a double standard because, when we get into the situation where, he has to make more money than us, what happens when he doesn't? Does that mean that we're going to sacrifice our happiness and be alone until we find somebody who makes more money than us?
I'm not for that. I've never been.
Because that's some superficial crap right there.
That is very superficial.
And it's something that.
But I also don't need you to be lazy either.
No,
we just had a conversation with my friend.
Ambitious artist.
So we just had a friend. I have a friend, my roommate. We were talking about this literally yesterday. We have a friend, right?
Okay.
Very much so capable of working, but it's just like, are you going to work? Like, you can have dreams, you can have aspirations, like you can have goals, but what are you doing right now that's gonna help you to get to where you're going? I don't just absolutely love my job some days, but I know that I got to pay my dues too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
just like she said, it's not a blueprint,
the drive has to
but
be
it's
there.
just like you got to be there. And if my man is not there right now, depending on the circumstances, if you are lazy, I'm not with it. You get what I'm saying?
So,
but if it's a different story, then hell yeah, we can rock with it. My money is your money, my money.
And that is a much better mentality than, if you don't have it, you're completely written off.
So with Molly being like a corporate lawyer and Jared being working as a manager or whatever his title is at Enterprise, he's working, he has a stable job, he goes to work every day, he's not lazy, he's about his
You gotta
business.
think about the type of chick though that Molly is. Everybody is
That's
different.
what I'm saying. Like, why does that have to be a problem? Why does he have to
I think it came up today in this episode.
It did.
Because it's not so much Molly. It's her sorority sister
It's
who,
her-
and her perception.
everybody else.
Right,
Yeah.
when he said
They
he didn't
said
go to college.
he
they're
embarrassed
Did you go to college?
She would be embarrassed if she takes him on her arm to these affluent events and in her inner circle. She's gonna think that he's ignorant. He doesn't understand what they're talking about.
I don't think it's so much she's gonna think, but it's she's thinking, and maybe
perception.
I'm speaking from a place of truth, but it's more about you're thinking what everybody else is thinking. Like, damn, like. Why in the hell would she settle for that?
It's your insecurity.
Like
why is she
It's
doing this
insecurity. Once
and
again,
he doing
insecurity.
that?
And
You
these
hit it on
are
the
the
head.
things that I've been waiting for. Show me this insecurity.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I appreciate.
Look at
And
Allie.
there's another time when Molly showed insecurity again, but I'm gonna let us finish this topic before I jump to it.
So can I ask you, McCall? Like, you are this boss corporate lady.
No, I'm not trying to say
for the
all
sake of
that,
argument,
but-
for the sake of argument, and you were to date a mechanic who loves his job, loves working with cars. That would be something that would turn you off because he's a mechanic and doesn't make as much money as you do. But
I want to know that you're a
blue-collar,
mechanic with a business sense and you're trying to expand that business.
Why can't he just show up to work every day and work on cars? Because that's what he loves to do.
They talk about control a little bit in
Yeah.
this episode. They said, well, Molly, you like to control stuff. If I got to come home and control how the household is run based off of my finances, it's going to be annoying.
Why do finances make
So,
the determination?
this is
for
where
people?
the man-
Because
debt
she
to
bringing
get this
home the
degree.
bread.
But this is
I
where
can
the
see
male
where
and
it's a potential
female
problem.
See, this
energy
is like
comes
the
in
disconnect,
because
I feel.
Molly is already a controlling. If she's a controlling person, that's a characteristic trait. That means she is an alpha female. So if you are alpha female, you are going to be more compatible, more than likely, with a female energy. And it doesn't mean that he's
Feminine.
it doesn't mean that he's feminine. It just means that he will allow you to run stuff like
Step
you
back,
like.
bow out gracefully.
And majority of women are like, no, I'm an alpha female, but I want an alpha man.
See, and this is
don't
why
know
this
when
is,
to bow
this
down.
is why y'all are
be-
single. This is
and
why
we
y'all
wanna
are
be
single.
beta at
This is
point.
the problem.
What's her
Y'all-
homegirl's
you're
name?
gonna stay
Little light
single
skin
with these
mama.
standards
She hit it
like
on
this.
point when she was like, I allow him to be a man. And I'm
Y'all
sure
are
she's very
so old
aggressive too.
What the hell are y'all talking about? Y'all can't have a man that works a stable job and loves his job, and you make more money than him. That's
I
a
think that's
problem for you?
perfectly fine.
What is y'all's
That's perfectly
issue?
fine.
This is
But you
like-
have to
are y'all
understand that.
kidding me?
You have to be
Come
okay
on.
with that.
People have
being
to
truthful
I-
about
you
it.
have
because
to
I'm
be
being-
truth. Speak your
You
truth,
have
and
to
I'm
be
just-
equally, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, people are going to be with who they're going to be with, the person however they choose to be. But at the end of the day, you want to be equally yoked with somebody. And
Yes.
whatever that equally yoked
Spiritually.
is for you, whether it be spiritually, physically, emotionally,
Right.
whatever.
So
you want to be.
finances are one aspect of the
That's
relationship.
and
You
that's
have the emotions, you have the
Exactly.
spirituality, you have
True.
the
And then they all,
physicality. You
but
have
they all fall in a level. Don't you agree? This is relationship talk.
Yeah, it
Everything
is.
falls in its own
So,
place.
real quick.
ahead.
I think this ties back into this whole 80-20 idea, and I want to talk about it at the end of our show, but we are running a
Okay.
little bit short on time. So, the theme that I noticed a lot during this episode is 80-20. So remember Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married?
Mm-hmm.
They said, well,
80-20.
you'll get 80% of what you want in a relationship, and then 20%, you wish you could have, right?
Right.
Every aspect of Issa, Molly, Lawrence, they all have 80-20 going on. Issa has, 80% at work. She's doing what she loves to do, but she don't like her coworkers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Molly got Jared. He's a good dude, but he ain't got the bread. Everybody's dealing with an 80-20, right? And I'm trying to figure out, okay, at what point do you draw the line, and at what point do you, I don't want to say settle, but when does it become okay to just be okay with
This
the 80-20?
is my 80-20.
When you're going to sleep at night and you're not tossing and turning and thinking of, it's not on your mind all the time.
Well, and why does it have to be settling? So I think that we say settling when there's a difference of being satisfied.
I didn't want to say settling.
Okay, but settling versus satisfied. When are you going to be satisfied? Because if you're somebody who's never satisfied with anything in life, you're not going to be happy when you get your corporate, 6-figure dude either. There's always going to be something wrong because you're not a person who knows how to be satisfied. So when you feel like, oh, well, he doesn't have X, Y, and Z, so therefore I'm settling. If you are getting your needs met, you really have to look at like what things are priorities and deal breakers for you. And if your deal breakers, aren't being crossed right there, then you should probably consider that relationship. Because if he treats you amazing, somebody who has the 6 figures can treat you super shady. Like it shouldn't be just about what he's making, and it's not settling.
Did you guys see Think Like a Man?
Yes, of course. And I felt a lot of that going on in this episode.
Taraji P. Henson character, she went on a date with a Morris Chestnut, who's a 6-figure dude.
Yes.
But the guy she ended up with was a chef who didn't make nearly as much money
Michael
as she
Ealy
did. You know what I'm saying? And he satisfied her in every other way, but she made more money.
And
so
it's
this
about
is why
character
I'm
and
like
spirit
confused
and
about
heart.
like why it's such an issue for Molly and McCall to date someone who isn't on their corporate level.
That comes with a
what I mean?
maturity level too. Don't
It
you
does,
agree?
and I really
if
think-
she's not
McCall,
there yet.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, this is what I will say, just from my
Yes.
own personal experience. My mom was a doctor, right? My dad was a teacher. So clearly my mom made more money.
Yes.
But my dad was very alpha. So like there was tension sometimes in the household, because it's like at some point it just comes down to nuts and bolts. Like I'm bringing home the bread. So,
Right.
you sit up here saying woo doo doo woo, but I'm still making more money than you.
Yeah.
And like
But does money define you though? Because
but money
it's what
defines men.
you.
It doesn't.
No,
it doesn't,
it doesn't define me.
It does. It secretly all men want to make
It does.
more money.
Me and my ex-boyfriend.
No, it
Lawrence,
doesn't. I'm
broke
telling you
up.
it does not.
I'm telling you,
I'm telling you, it
sometimes
does
it's
not.
how
But
you
does
may
it
not be
I
that
think
type.
that money is
the
important.
average American man,
You may not be that
his
type.
identity is rooted in his bread.
Yeah.
Right? So even though I'm able to like look past it for a while, at some point it's gonna rear its head, not so much with me, but with you.
I mean, I've been broke for a while, and I feel very secure.
But you're young and broke.
Young and broke.
I ain't seen you
Young
at
and-
45
You're
and
right.
and I pray to
If
God
I'm
I
broke
don't.
at 45,
And
I'll
you
be
were
different
bringing up
story.
the male ego is, tremendous. And at some point it does, start to mess with their head if they're not making money. But also, how are we as women playing into that? How are we feeding that stereotype and feeding, his ego? Because if we are constantly reminding him that he is beneath us or less than us because he's not making more, and I don't know your family situation growing up, which might come, have a lot, which it does have a lot to do with your mentality now. But you seeing that, different dynamic in your household and you not respecting it, you could be in a situation now where you're like, oh no, he has to make more money because I saw the way my mother treated my father. But you also have to decide, am I going to make those same choices? Am I going to view it the same way? Because you're in control of how you treat him, and whatever male comes to the table with you, he's in control as well of his ego and his his character. Like those are all things that you're going to either enforce and perpetuate, or you can change that and find somebody who's very secure with him being a teacher.
But trust and believe, honey, whoever you not pleased with, somebody else gonna make them feel
Exactly.
just as pleased.
And
What's up, Tasha?
Let's get into that. 'Cause like I said, we are running short on time. So
Tasha was like, "You got it, boy. You can keep on going."
Tasha
your head
works
up.
at
See?
Broadway Federal, which is a historically African American bank. One of, I think, only 2 in California. Broadway Federal, though, so we live in LA, we can kind of pinpoint where they're shooting. That was not Broadway Federal. Broadway Federal was on Figueroa and Martin Luther King, and that is
that's
not
by
what
me.
that's not what it looks
But
like
they
on the
wanted
inside.
us to feel like it was.
Yeah. So shout out to you trying to be accurate, HBO. Got the Greeks, got Broadway Federal. I see you with that.
All in one episode.
A
All
for,
this race.
A for effort.
So low key, Tasha, breasts all out in the workplace.
I like Tasha.
It's a black.
You would.
It's a black on.
And then she all up in
She
his
was sweet. She was very
account like,
nice.
oh, you clearly got savings.
Some say-
You're not supposed to comment on that.
Not
They
professional.
homies.
That was not professional, but yeah, clearly like they know each other. But what I really also like about this situation is that it shows something that is very realistic that will happen. Somebody else will appreciate, you know, what you don't. Another man's or another woman's
Well, the treasure
trash
becomes
is
no
another
trash
woman's
becomes
treasure.
treasure.
Yeah, okay.
Because she knows he's been unemployed, but she's telling him to keep his head up.
But I
keep
appreciate
getting
us
out
not
there,
showing
you know?
like an exchange of
Support.
information or exchange of like. I appreciate him not considering leaving Issa for that. Him just, you know,
Yet.
getting his compliment, being able to accept somebody, you know, flirting and hitting on him and reboosting his ego, but then still making sure that he went home to his woman and addressed issues with her, as opposed to I'm about to, you know, slide through her DM real quick and like ask her out.
Oh, Tasha will be back.
See, I think it was cool how they
Tasha's
were.
coming back.
And we're gonna get into the predictions. So Issa makes it back to the apartment to have a conversation with Lawrence, but after she has a successful beach day, which I'm so glad that worked out for
Did we
her.
talk about
Yeah,
this
me
shit?
too. I
we
appreciate
haven't talked
Beach
about
Day.
it, but what
Okay.
did you guys feel about the whole beach day scene? I see what she was trying to do, putting her foot down with the kids, but she was trying to play to them like white folks would play to them instead of just being like for real, like on a
Well,
black.
I
That
love
woman.
the
played
scene
into
on
that
the
played
bus,
into
though.
insecurity too, and
Yes,
that's why
she was
I
being
loved
insecure,
it. She
like,
was
dang,
very insecure in
you
that
black kids
moment.
are
Like
making me
y'all
look
are
bad
one
to
of
my
Exactly.
white
we
coworkers.
are you one of me.
She's like,
y'all
we're
got to
in
listen
mixed
to me.
company right now.
Right.
We're in
She
mixed
was like,
company,
can y'all have my back in this situation?
I thought that was
please?
really funny.
But
I love that.
but that same exact situation where she felt like there's white people around, I have to be somebody else right now, and you little black kids need to help me be somebody else.
Yeah.
That's the same exact thing that happened with Molly at work.
True.
Yeah, exactly. Because Molly doesn't feel
Dada
like she
girl.
can be herself at work, but she feels insecure because Rashida is doing.
Rashida's being herself.
Rashida's being
not
her authentic
turning
self.
it off and on. There is no alter ego. She's not switching up her persona when she comes into work. And Rashida was very confident about that.
Yeah.
And Molly was very
checked
upset
her
that she
good.
had did
She
it from
did.
Jump
She checked her-
Street.
she checked her
She
very
gave her a
well.
nice little read.
Yeah.
And Molly trying to be helpful, like, hey girl, I'm gonna tell you, these white folks, don't do that. Switch it up. No, you're trying to help her through your insecurity.
Yeah, because she's mad that she won herself from Jump Street. When you can bounce from chilling and playing poker and drinking with the janitors and
then we
the
find out
policemen,
speak-
and then you can
Spanish.
speak Spanish too. Like you kicking it with everybody. You were mad that Rashid
that
came
she
in
gets-
being herself.
But don't you
Yes.
feel like there should be like a professional decorum or
Oh,
professional?
most definitely, but I
you know
also
what
feel
mean?
like you should also be true to yourself. And I think when Rashida came in and said, "Listen, I didn't switch it up when I was editor,
Right.
But the way she's told-
I didn't switch it up in my interview when I was with your partners. I
But
wasn't switching it up then. I was being me.
The way she was talking to Molly though was very different from the way she was talking to that white man in the hallway. She was being loud and extra,
Well, that's
and
the,
then she broke it
but
down
that's
with
the
Molly.
tone
You
that
know?
Molly had set up. That's
Okay,
the kind
that's
of
fair,
that's
that's
the
fair.
you know
That's fair.
She had set
But
that
she
up.
was being a little loud.
But
in that
there
hallway.
is this,
I'm just
like-
gonna
We
say.
can get loud.
She was a
But
little
that
loud.
theme though, there
That
is
was it.
this
camaraderie kind of thing.
well, there's this mentality that when we go into the workplace that we have to switch it up, that we can't be ourselves who we are at home when we're around white people, that we have to be, the super professional and corny person and act like
Corny.
them because they
But
won't
also,
accept us
Lawrence
if we
said
act
that-
like
But
ourselves.
Lawrence said that to her too when she came home complaining. He was like, "All you got to do," and this part made me mad. He said, "All you got to do is go and just work harder and just prove them wrong." Why? That's
Ain't
an
that simple,
insecurity.
bruh. Ain't
Because
that
that
simple.
is why
true.
do I have to go? But that's a struggle,
Yeah.
and that's why I said
It
she
is
hit
true,
it
though.
dead on the head this episode. Because that's an everyday struggle with almost probably every person of color. You always have to go and prove somebody wrong, be better than. Like you always
Yeah.
have to be
Well, because
up and down.
the expectation and the stereotype is that there is this laziness, or that there is this certain CP time. I mean, there's stuff that we sometimes play into. I mean, there are these stereotypes that we constantly have to debunk.
Were we both late today?
And I mean,
Were we
I
both
ain't never
late
made
today?
it to work before 9:15.
Like-
And sometimes 9:30.
but there are these stereotypes that we have to work a little bit harder because they're automatically expecting, not even knowing that they're doing this, expecting us to fail.
And I think the reason Molly had that conversation with Dada Girl is because when you are black in a predominantly white situation, white people view you as the representation of all black people. That's just reality.
Yes.
Like when someone sees a black person, like, oh, look at this Negro. Like that's how they all are. So that's why Molly's having this conversation with her to the side, like, yo, tone it back a bit, because when you act like this, they're gonna
They gonna think I'm like
they're gonna
this.
view me the same
you know
way.
what I
or view
also
all
saw
people.
it
You know what I'm
as?
saying?
part of me thought that Molly didn't want her being too chummy with her white coworkers because she doesn't want her to be more liked. Because sometimes, now I ain't like this, but
I didn't see that.
but black women in the workplace sometimes we feel like, oh, I have to be the only one.
Yeah.
I have to be the most successful one. I have to be the only one. I have to be the most liked one.
The go-to one.
Oh, I didn't get
Because
that.
there's so few.
Well, no, but I don't think that Molly ever hinted to that. But I was just thinking like that might be a
Another
possibility.
Because it's like threatening your environment.
Because I thought it more of, once again, her being embarrassed by this other black woman in the workplace
it's all the
representing, the black women, and then also, even not wanting to talk to Jared. It was this, insecurity of how he's going to represent her once again. I'm not as, I'm this affluent person, this, strong, black woman. You're gonna make me look bad. So I just saw it as, her coworker and her inner, personal relationship with just people in general. But I can see that.
Yeah, because if you guys are doing equal work, and then she's more liked and respected because she speaks her mind, then you become less valuable, if you will, in the work. And again, I've just seen it. I've seen it. Now they didn't hint to it, but I'm just looking at a possibility. I want to get to predictions real quick.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Because we get kicked out the studio. But I want to hit on a prediction that comes up at the end of this episode. So you guys, please think about yours.
Yes.
Molly goes on a date with a guy because she finally gets into the league, right? She breaks up with Jared though before the date. And I thought that was very stupid. Why would you tell him that? So this is my prediction.
Before the date, yeah.
She broke up with him essentially before the date. Right. Jared's gonna get with somebody. I have a feeling Jared's gonna get with Rashida.
Oh, that's a great prediction. That would be because she would appreciate him.
I have a feeling Rashida gonna end up with Jared.
That would be hilarious. I think that it's going to be, what's the movie that you referenced earlier?
Think Like a Man.
Think Like a Man. I think it's going to be just like that. She has a bad experience with this like foo-foo, professional, corporate dude. And then she's going to wind up calling Jared back for sure.
He's going to be with somebody else, probably Rashida.
Rashida, that's juicy.
That would be hilarious though.
See?
I would love
all
that.
the white people love her and your ex-boo. Stupid.
I honestly think that Molly is limiting herself in that she needs to start dating outside her race. I think she needs to get with one of these corporate professionals at work, one of these white men.
Is that your prediction?
I hope she does.
What about you, Allie?
In concerns to Molly or just in general?
In general.
Okay, I think that of course Lawrence is gonna start his new job, and I think that it's gonna kill Issa again. I think she's gonna be like, golly, I'm not okay with this. I try to be okay and support her through it, but I'm really not okay with this.
Because you ain't making no money at Best Buy.
And then whatchamacall's gonna pop up at her job too, so she really not gonna be on him at Best Buy.
Issa might be applying to Best Buy next week also.
She might be, but she's not right now.
You can't be upset for somebody when they're down because it's never gonna be consistently perfect.
Yeah. All right, Omari on the spot.
I don't have a prediction. I just want to read this tweet from Issa Rae.
Yeah, please do.
If she was referencing the beach scene when the white dude was like, why can't these black kids swim? And she just said slavery. So Issa Rae tweeted out, slavery is an answer to every stupid question. Basically, white people have a lot of stupid questions about black people, and you know why.
Why can you take your hair off, slavery?
Right? Slavery.
Slavery.
You know where we'll be next week. We're right back here at AfterBuzz because slavery.
Yes.
You know where to find me in between then on Twitter, on Instagram at McCall Hall. Where can they find you guys at?
At Allie the Pub is Allie Washington.
And I'm Spicy Madi. You guys can play with my Twitter or stroke my Instagram at Spicy Madi.
You can find me on Twitter and IG at Owen with Omari. Also on Snapchat at Omari B.
And engage with us in between now and next Sunday on AfterBuzz TV across the board. We love you guys because slavery.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.